Let's face it, guys, retail's a chaotic world.
From those who work on the shop floor to the ropey customer trying to wangle a refund on a sweaty yet supposedly unworn pair of pants. We all have a story.
We chat to the sales assistants shackled to the cash desk, hoping and dreaming for that big break that will free them from the shop floor once and for all. And also to the incredible shop workers who love what they do but struggle to pay the rent or even dare to dream of getting on that elusive property ladder.
We're giving a platform to the shop owners who are transforming the retail landscape and the family businesses who continue to make retail work against all the odds.
Jasmine, are you ready for a deep dive into life on the shop floor?
Timothy, let's go.
You looking for anything in particular, hon?
No, I'm just browsing, thanks.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Timothy. So episode 1.
Finally, we're here.
After putting it off for so long.
I know, how long have we been talking about it now?
It's been a year.
Has
It's genuinely been a year.
I think it's been longer than a year. So when was we graduated last July. And when did you start working in the shop where we both met?
Probably about 2 years ago now.
But the conversation was like pre-summer last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we came up with the idea. We were thinking, oh God, so many things happen in our day to day that we need to tell people about.
Yeah, retail's a very messy world.
If it was a reality show, actually don't take that idea.
Do you know what? We should, a fly on the wall of us working together in retail would be pretty hilarious.
People always say that. I actually just think a fly on the wall of anyone in retail is funny.
So we met working in a shop, and welcome back, Jasmine. So Jasmine left retail. She was like, I'm done.
I thought I'd escape.
You went traveling. When did you go traveling?
September last year.
In September, and Jasmine had a good farewell party.
I know. I said to everyone, I was like, good luck, guys. I literally was like, oh, I don't have to worry about this anymore.
Back.
Part 2, I'm back, bitches.
So once you came back from traveling in the States, you took a job in, what was it?
Serving the devil.
You were like a PA.
Yeah. It was kind of like like working in retail when you work with clients, but doing everything for them, serving every need.
What kind of needs? Sexual?
Never. I remember like on the first day of that gig, the person was like, yeah, it's like the devil wears Prada. And I was like, I don't know if it worked out well for that girl in the end.
It didn't work out for you either, did it?
No. I was like, oh no. So yeah, now I'm back.
So I was like, come back to retail.
But you just wanted me.
I did want you back. I think that's the thing about retail, though. It kind of lures you back in. It's like...
safe space.
It is a safe space. You know why? Because it's not too taxing.
No pressures.
I want to say it's easy money, but it's not easing money.
Social, definitely.
There's a social element.
Like you can get away
There's
with having a laugh.
There's a lot of watching behind the scenes.
There's a lot of that fun. I think that's why it lures you back. Because honestly, I went into the corporate world and I was like, first of all, why did I even come here? Second of all, where are all my friends gone? Because people just act differently.
Yeah.
I'm used to normal people. I don't know what was going on. So I missed that about retail. I missed that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd love to put my degree to some use.
I mean, same. So we both graduated at the same time last year in July.
Yeah.
And I went straight back into retail. I went back to uni as a mature student, hoping that was it. I'd be done. Spent 3 years at uni. The day I finished the day I finished my last exam, I was back on the shop floor.
You were desperate for it. Couldn't wait to have your fingers all over the products.
I know. Gosh, clients fingering the products. Gotta love it.
That's an episode in itself.
It is an episode in itself. So anyway, getting back to the podcast, why we're here. Mm-hmm. So we had a conversation on the shop floor. Jasmine and I were working together this time last year.
Yeah.
And we were like, wouldn't it be hilarious if we kind of did a podcast that lifted the lid on the day-to-day life of someone who works in retail? Because I think there are so many in that kind of service industry.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest employers in the UK, if not the biggest. And it's kind of voiceless. And there's so many
And
hilarious
there's
things
the
that
best
happen.
people as well in it, because you get people from all walks of life, different backgrounds, different like specialties, talents. Because most of the time, I always think it's like waiters and waitresses. You get a lot of creatives who are really
Creators aren't interesting, though. They're fucking annoying.
well, you get a lot of people that kind of like me don't have a clue what they want to do, come out of uni, come out of school, and are like, I need to make money, but I don't want to start going down a path that
I think often what it is it's like zero bullshit. You know, when you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, you're playing the game, you're saying and doing what you think you need to be doing to get ahead. In retail, we're not getting ahead. So we're like,
no, we're
fuck
all
it,
in the same place. We're all like,
let's have some fun. Let's be,
you either go from shop assistant to shop manager.
that's it.
That's it.
Area manager,
Yeah.
if you've really lucked out.
That's all you've got. There's no extra promotions. You're all in it together.
And I think that is why it's fun, because you're like, this is shit at times,
Yeah.
but also hilarious, because you've got the freedom to make mates, chat all day on the shop floor. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can't deny it. You work with friends. There's gossip. Also, the working hours are shift around all the time. So you have a random weekend off, random day here and there. You get a lot of people who I think it's actually really grounding, because you get those people who are honest about not knowing what they want to do.
Yes.
And you can be honest, and then no one's
Yes.
pretending. No one's like, I'm trying to make a load of money. I'm trying to do this. It's like, we're all here. We're all friends.
I think that's another reason why I wanted to do the podcast. It's like we meet so many interesting people that work in retail.
And
like
even just the people
highly
like,
qualified, educated, creatives, like you said. And I think people look at people that work in retail like they're nobodies, that they haven't achieved anything. But actually, you know, if you took the time to talk to people that work in retail, like everyone's done such incredible things. I think that's what this podcast hopefully will kind of open people's eyes to. Like there's a lot more going on than us working on the shop floor.
Yeah, exactly. And it's no longer like those, you're a shop girl, shop boy things. It's like, honestly, if I could tell you what everyone we work with does,
I
and
like being a
they're
shop
super
boy, though.
interesting. Well, you would. Sounds more sinister now.
So how did we get to the actual podcast? So we were talking about it. And
but you and I both seek a lot of validation, I think, from other people and ourselves.
one another.
And we both couldn't agree. You'd go between, oh no, we can't do this, we can. And actually, we just
the imposter syndrome is strong. It has been throughout my adult life, and I think it gets worse as I get older. So
I know what you mean. You're so young still.
at one point, I was like, yeah, let's do this, let's go. And then a year rolls
like
by,
that.
and we still.
I flip between those, like you watch a self-help video, like see some sort of video about taking on the world. You can do anything, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it and do this all. I'm being a movie star. And then the next day, you're like, I can't even pay for my bills today, so I don't think that's happening.
I think getting into work might be a struggle for me today.
Yeah, when you're like,
never mind
hungover, you're like,
launching a
international career.
podcast. So we did start to form the basis of what the podcast would look like whilst working on the shop floor together, and then we had this weird chance encounter.
Yeah, like we would talk about it all the time, and we were sort of daydreaming on the shop floor about what we wanted it to be, what we wanted to talk about. And then one day I look out of the shop.
Am I running across the road?
And I see a woman, I'm like, oh, she looks like she's from Ab Fab. Like, you know, I've seen a few episodes, she looks like it. Then I see Timothy sprinting out the door to this poor woman who's just trying to have a look inside the store. Like, you accost her, you grab her. And yeah, turns out I was right. I knew who she was, and you knew who she was.
I did, yeah.
Can't say
And yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm just such a huge fan of yours. So I was like, guys, what do you think about this podcast that we've been talking about?
And they didn't actually roll their eyes first, so I did sort of start to believe maybe we could do it.
They did roll their eyes at your outfit, but
Probably so.
but they were like, yeah, this sounds really great. And
Maybe they were just being nice.
yeah, I think they were just being pleasant.
I think they probably get that a lot. There's you and I thinking we were the only person that's ever done that, and they probably get that quite a lot, don't they?
But it did kind of motivate us to think, actually, maybe there's something there.
Well, it was the validation we needed.
Fully.
We literally just needed
Constantly looking from it. Strangers.
a strange celebrity to tell us
Actresses.
that we could do it. Right,
And her son was in the creative industry, was a performer, and was launching his own radio channel.
the hesitation in your voice.
And put us in touch with him, who was looking for kind of fresh, raw talent to host slots on this new radio show. I mean, I think you described this better. It's so hilarious.
So she obviously is very proud of her son. And
So
she's
proud.
obviously selling that he's doing, trying to produce podcasts. We don't even see red flags. We're just straight away like, oh my gosh, so fab. That's what we need. They're in the right leverage. They know people. They've got contacts. This seems like a good thing to do. And so, yeah, we contacted him, her son.
Yeah, I don't think there were red flags. Were there any red flags? I just don't think it was where it needed to be. It was an idea and was sold to us as...
Well, it was what was sold to us was a bit different to the reality of what it was.
That it was like some fully fledged radio show. And they were ready to sign us.
Like, we literally would just turn up in the room like we've done today and we're ready to go. But I remember I spoke to this guy, we sent him email. I mean, this to me, maybe this is my imposter syndrome talking, but we sent our idea and he was raving about it straight away. I was like...
Yeah, we emailed a synopsis, didn't we?
But I swear J.K. Rowling had to send 1,000 books to get one yes. And we send one idea and someone already said yes.
I was like, we're rolling. This is it. This is our moment.
I was like, I'm sure you're supposed to have a bit more failure at the start. I was like...
So then we were invited to a meeting with his creative team.
Huge team of producers, digital media marketing.
So the address is in Bloomsbury. So I'm like, okay, this is making sense. That's the kind of area that I would...
We're thinking, yeah, we've got the big bucks now.
I'm like, let's go. So we meet in central London, Tottenham Court Road. The first thing I say is, let's go to Sainsbury's for a can of gin and tonic.
I think we drank that in about a minute.
It was so hot that day, wasn't it? So it was early summer.
I could tell by your face that day.
A bit like how hot it is in here right now.
No, you were worse there that day.
Was I?
Yeah.
And then we made our way to the offices of the shit hot podcast producer who's going to change our lives.
I mean, let's just put it this way. I genuinely thought it was going to be a step down from Universal Records.
Did you?
That's what we were sold. And the way he had called me up, it almost sounded like he was like, time zone, I'm just in LA. He kind of gave that, I'm really busy, don't worry, but I've made this 5-minute time to talk to you on the phone. I was like, I'm so privileged. I was like, God.
I thought rightly so. You felt privileged.
You did. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, we rock up at this place. We go in the front door and we're like, this is a coffee shop. This is odd. At first, I think we've been scammed. This doesn't exist.
Thank God we hadn't given them out.
Any money or card details. We go in and they're like, oh, you must be looking for... And they said his name. We're like, yeah, well, where is he behind the bar?
Is he, working a shift?
Is he
a barista? Yeah.
And, they just took us upstairs. It was like Sherlock Holmes' house.
So it was above a coffee shop.
Which sounds normal. It sounds all right.
But literally you had to go through the coffee shop to get up to the office.
And you up some creaky stairs. And honestly, I was expecting to open a door and just see a hospital bed with some handcuffs on it.
That sounds kind of hot, I'm not going to lie. No. So we get into this room and it's like something out of Junior Apprentice. That's the only way.
It was like a challenge.
Is that what it's called? The Apprentice?
Yeah.
With, what's he called?
Alan
Sugar. It's so cringe. It's
No, the thing for me was it was so hot and everyone was wearing suits and they all went to shake our clammy little hands. You basically had a waterfall dripping off your forehead.
I was melting.
And we were trying to be somewhat professional. And how they were in suits, I have no idea.
I was melting.
So Chappelle. It was like American Psycho, when he doesn't
It was horrendous. So I'm like, so like, who do you have on the show? Like, they're like, so it hasn't started yet. I'm like, okay, so who have you signed? Like, what's happening? They're like, the cock destroyers are interested. I was like, right, okay, so that's the kind of market we're aiming for. And it was like they were pitching to us. It was like a pitch. We were in the pitch.
It was.
Junior apprentice
Apprentice
pitch.
pitch.
It was.
Like there was clipboards.
It was
People had clipboards and were
the blue tinted lenses.
typing on their laptops, and really they were just literally typing into Google whatever they wanted.
It was bad.
They weren't taking notes for sure.
It was bad.
And it was more like they were helping out a friend that had just come out of uni. It was that kind of vibe, wasn't it?
No, I think it was just a fake it till you make it. But obviously, we saw through the bullshit.
The suits.
It was like, this is.
I would have liked it more if they hadn't. If they were in jeans t-shirt, they'd gone, look, we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. Let's all try.
Let's do something.
But instead, they were trying to make it like they really knew what they were doing. That they gave us. No, I think back.
Yeah, like we were in the we were in the corporate offices of Audible or something.
Yeah, they were like, you can have a slot on this Saturday show, and then what we're thinking is we'll push it to this, and then we were going, oh, here are big ideas. They're going, that's great, can't wait to integrate that. Meanwhile, they probably barely have 50p to pay for the rent, you know?
I think it was free rent, to be honest. Like you said, they were doing pot wash afterwards. So we left that meeting, and I'm feeling pretty despondent, I have to say. I was like, that's it, podcast in tatters. It's over.
No, I kept faith.
Did you?
But it was as soon as they just sort of stopped replying to us, stopped any correspondence.
No, so after that, they asked us to go away, record a kind of free-flowing demo, a 1 hour demo, which we did. The first hour we recorded didn't actually record at all. So,
yeah, that was great. So we had to do that again.
I think it was funnier the second time, no?
Yeah, probably.
And we sent that on. We were like, and it actually, we had good feedback. We sent it to kind of people that we knew in the industry. We had some interesting feedback, some good, some not so good. And then we sent it to them, and we just didn't hear anything back.
Yeah. And especially these are the people that should be the ones kind of interested in what we've got to say. I mean, we had some really good feedback from other people, and they just didn't say anything. And they were the ones that asked for it.
Nothing. And then I managed.
Bad. I wish even if they said bad stuff, at least I'd have something to go on.
And then I finally managed to get through to one of the assistants of the owner of this production company. Do you remember? And he was like, I'm no longer.
Yeah. He was like, I'm no longer.
I've left the business.
I've left.
Business.
He's like torn apart, wasn't it? It was like.
That was the blue lens. It was like something else.
You had to go into like MI5 mode, track down someone who I tell you, we didn't remember their names because we were so flustered and hot and sweaty.
I was traumatized.
And you tracked him down.
He was like, I'm no longer there. I was like, lucky escape.
Good job.
So here we are. So a year later of talking about it and a lot of back and forth, we're finally here, self-producing. How does it feel?
Feels good. It feels good. I'm here to talk about retail, the funny things, life, because life is mental.
Yeah, I mean,
in general.
I think this year more than ever, like working in retail, obviously it's not the best paid industry.
Don't know what you mean. I'm living in a mega mansion. You joking?
There's so much to talk about, you know, like literally. Now my colleagues are like talking about the struggle of paying for the tube fare, you know? It's like, it's tough out there, you know?
Yeah, don't you use your credit card for that, I swear. I've seen you digging down the bottom of your sofa just to get on.
You know shit hit the fan when you're paying with your credit card to get on the bus.
Yeah, stuff's expensive. You breathe in London, you're paying like 100 quid.
It's so true. It's so true.
And also, I think we're seeing it with people like that come into the shops. I mean, we talk about obviously people we work with and the people that actually work in retail, but we have some amazing people that come in.
Yeah, incredible.
We meet the most interesting people from all over the UK, all over the world that have great stories. And yeah, that's the heartwarming part.
I think that is the thing, isn't it? You know, kind of coming out of the lockdown and people were really saying, and with the increase in sales online, like that kind of really dynamic shift to online shopping.
Yeah.
People like the retail is over, bricks and mortar retail is over. But actually, I've seen more and more since coming out of the pandemic how much people love to shop and to have that interaction on the shop floor and have those conversations.
And be made to feel special and have a laugh and like get people with their sad stories that, they feel they can tell us.
It's
which
a bit
I'm
like
always humbled by. I'm always like, God, you're telling me.
And then you message
it must
your
be
mates.
desperate. Nah.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's a bit like being a hairdresser. I think, when your clients come and my friend mate's a hairdresser, she says like basically you're a therapist for an hour.
It's the anonymity though that you have, like you don't know their friends, you don't know their family.
Yeah, I mean the amount of
are.
times I've heard like someone come in, I'm going through a messy divorce, and putting this handbag
And you say,
on his
"Me
credit
too."
card.
No, you say, I wish I had a credit card, someone else has put it on.
Yeah, I wish I had a credit card that wasn't maxed. But I think that is the beauty of retail, and I think that's what we're here to talk about, really,
Yeah, and that's why hence the name.
The shop floor.
Thank you for listening to The Shop Floor. We'll be releasing episodes weekly, so please like and subscribe to all our channels.